Imagine receiving a cancer diagnosis and being told that you only have a limited amount of time left to live. Many would understandably feel defeated and powerless in the face of such devastating news. However, for one artist, this diagnosis was not the end, but rather the beginning of a journey that would ultimately lead to the creation of her most significant work of art. This is the story of how one artist turned tragedy into triumph, conquering her cancer diagnosis in the most remarkable way. In an ordinary moment, life as the artist knew it was irrevocably altered. The diagnosis came unexpectedly, like a storm that appears without warning on a clear day. Cancer, the word itself felt foreign, yet it had become an undeniable part of her reality. As the doctor relayed the details, each sentence seemed to echo in a void, creating a surreal atmosphere that distanced her from the immediate surroundings. Initially, a wave of disbelief washed over her, followed closely by an intense surge of emotions, fear, anger, and an overwhelming sense of vulnerability. Amidst the turmoil of thoughts and feelings, a profound realization began to take shape. This wasn't merely a sentence to be served. It was a clarion call to confront her reality with the very essence of who she was, an artist. The prospect of facing mortality head-on sparked a defiance within her, a refusal to let the diagnosis dictate the narrative of her remaining days. It was in this crucible of uncertainty and introspection that the seeds of resilience were sown, fostering a determination that would soon fuel her greatest artistic endeavor. This juncture between life as she knew it and the unknown that lay ahead became a source of both inspiration and introspection. Questions about legacy, purpose, and the impact of her art became central to her thoughts. How could she use her craft, her voice, to navigate through this tumultuous journey? The answer lay in the melding of her lived experience with her art, transforming the canvas into a battleground where fear and beauty coexist, where the fragility of life meets the permanence of legacy. The artist's response to her cancer diagnosis transcended the initial despair, evolving into a powerful statement of intent. It was a decision that would not only chart the course of her remaining days, but also redefine her relationship with her art. In embracing her vulnerability, she found a strength and clarity of purpose that would illuminate her path forward. This moment of diagnosis, though marked by pain and uncertainty, became the catalyst for a journey that would challenge the confines of her creativity, pushing her to explore the depths of her soul and the breadth of her talent in ways she never imagined. Upon grappling with the stark reality of her cancer diagnosis, the artist faced a pivotal moment that would redefine her path forward. It was a moment where surrendering to despair seemed all too easy. Yet, within the depths of her being, a fierce determination took root. Making a conscious choice to channel the tumultuous wave of emotions into her art, she embarked on a transformative journey. This bold decision marked a turning point, not just in her battle against cancer, but in her evolution as an artist and as an individual confronting her own mortality. With this resolve, the artist found herself at the precipice of an endeavor that promised to challenge every fiber of her creative spirit. She envisioned creating a work that would not only encapsulate the essence of her struggle, but also serve as a beacon of hope and resilience for others facing similar battles. This wasn't merely about leaving behind a legacy. It was about making a statement that even in the face of life's most harrowing trials, beauty and meaning could emerge. This profound commitment to her craft became the guiding light through the darkest moments of her journey. The act of creating became her solace, a therapeutic outlet that allowed her to express the inexpressible. Through each piece of art, she narrated her story, weaving together the threads of pain, hope, fear, and courage into a tapestry rich with emotion and depth. The decision to create in the midst of such adversity was a testament to her indomitable spirit. As she delved into this ambitious project, the artist discovered a newfound strength within herself. The creative process was both a refuge and a battleground, where she confronted her fears and transformed them into something tangible, something immortal. This choice to devote her remaining time to her art was not an escape from reality, but an embrace of it, allowing her to infuse her work with a sincerity and power that resonated with those who would encounter it. Embarking on this journey, the artist did not see her diagnosis as a constraint, but rather as a catalyst for innovation and depth in her work. Each decision in her creative process was imbued with a sense of urgency and purpose, driving her to explore new techniques, themes, and expressions. The decision to create, in the face of such profound adversity, was an act of defiance against her circumstances and a declaration of her resilience, marking the beginning of her most ambitious and impactful work yet. In the quietude of her studio, surrounded by the familiar scent of paint and the gentle caress of natural light, the artist stood before a blank canvas. This canvas, a silent witness to the turmoil within, awaited the first stroke of her brush. It was here, in this sanctuary of creativity, that the artist began the intricate process of conceptualizing her masterpiece. Drawing deeply from the well of her experiences, she sought to capture not just the essence of her battle with cancer, but the universal struggle of human vulnerability and resilience. The process was neither swift nor straightforward. Each day presented a new challenge, a fresh perspective on the duality of life and death, beauty and despair. She delved into the depths of her soul, unearthing emotions and memories that had long lain dormant. These elements became the foundation of her vision, a mosaic of pain and triumph that would soon take physical form. Inspiration struck in the most unexpected moments. A shaft of sunlight breaking through the clouds, the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind, or the quiet strength in the eyes of those who visited her. The artist began to see her journey not as an isolated path, but as a thread in the tapestry of human experience. This realization shaped her approach, guiding her to create a piece that transcended personal narrative and spoke to a broader audience. Her masterpiece would be a testament to the strength found in fragility, the beauty in breaking. It would challenge the viewer to confront their own fears and vulnerabilities, offering solace and understanding through shared experience. The conceptualization of this work was a delicate balance between introspection and expression, a dialogue between the artist and her medium. As the concept for the masterpiece crystallized, the artist found herself more determined than ever. She envisioned a work that encapsulated the raw intensity of her emotions, the elegance of her resolve, and the indomitable spirit of all who face their mortality with courage. With each decision, from the palette to the composition, she imbued the piece with layers of meaning, crafting a narrative that would resonate with viewers long after her brush had stilled. This was not just her story, but a homage to the enduring human spirit, a bridge between the ephemeral and the eternal. Embarking on this artistic odyssey was no small feat. With each day presenting a unique set of challenges, the artist found solace and strength within the confines of her studio, a sacred space where her spirit could soar, unbound by the physical constraints of her body. The creation process was a meticulous journey, a labor of love that demanded every ounce of her being. Every brushstroke was a whisper of her soul, a testament to her resilience in the face of unfathomable adversity. The studio became a crucible of creation, where raw emotions were transformed into breathtaking visuals. Here, pain and beauty coalesced, giving birth to a masterpiece that was as much a part of her as her own heartbeat. The artist approached her work with an unparalleled intensity, channeling the chaos of her diagnosis into a focused pursuit of artistic expression. The colors on her palette took on new meanings, each hue a reflection of her journey. Shades of despair contrasted with vibrant bursts of hope and determination. As she worked, the artist often paused to reflect on the significance of each moment, aware that her time was a precious commodity. This mindfulness imbued her work with a profound depth. Each decision about composition, texture, and light a deliberate choice that moved her closer to her ultimate vision. The process was not just about creating art. It was a means of chronicling her battle, a way to leave an indelible mark on the world. In the solitude of her studio, with the gentle hum of the outside world a distant echo, the artist found a powerful connection between her life force and her creative energy. This connection fueled her passion and propelled her forward, driving her to pour more of herself into the work than she ever thought possible. The act of creation became a source of liberation, a way for her to transcend her diagnosis and connect with others on a deeply personal level. Through tireless effort and an unwavering commitment to her craft, the artist's vision gradually materialized before her eyes. Each day, the masterpiece grew closer to completion, a physical manifestation of her inner strength and creativity. In this process, she discovered not only the therapeutic power of art, but also a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment, finding beauty amidst the pain and transforming her story into a lasting legacy. In the intimate dance with mortality, the artist found her refuge within the realm of creation, where art became the conduit for her deepest reflections and confrontations with the inevitable end. It was in this sacred space that the boundaries between life and death blurred, allowing her to explore the profundities of existence through the lens of her craft. Art served not only as a vehicle for self-expression, but as a powerful mediator between her inner world and the external reality of her condition. With each stroke of her brush, the artist delved into the essence of her being, unearthing emotions that words could scarcely capture. In this process, art transformed from a mere activity into a profound spiritual practice, a way to grapple with the unknown and express the inexpressible. It provided a means to document her journey, creating a visual diary that mapped her encounters with fear, hope, despair, and ultimately, acceptance. Through her creative endeavors, she engaged in a dialogue with mortality, one that was marked by a raw honesty and vulnerability. This engagement brought about a profound realization that in acknowledging death she could live more fully. Art became her testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a declaration that even in the shadow of death, beauty and meaning can flourish. Her work, a vibrant tapestry of her life's experiences, stood as a beacon to others navigating their own encounters with mortality. It challenged the viewer to reflect on their own lives, to find beauty amidst pain, and to consider the legacy they wished to leave behind. In this sacred interplay between art and mortality, the artist discovered a deep well of strength and inspiration. She realized that by embracing her vulnerability and channeling it into her art, she could touch the hearts of others in profound and lasting ways. Art, in its boundless capacity to convey the intricacies of human emotion, became her solace, her strength, and her most eloquent response to the journey towards the end. The day arrived when the artist, with a heart full of mixed emotions, decided it was time to reveal her magnum opus to the public. This wasn't just an unveiling. It was a moment of vulnerability, sharing a piece of her soul with the world. The gallery, a space that had seen countless exhibitions, felt different that evening. There was a palpable sense of anticipation in the air as guests arrived, unaware that they were about to witness not just art, but a story of unparalleled courage and resilience. As the cover was gently lifted from the masterpiece, a hush fell over the crowd. Before them was a canvas that captured the tumultuous journey of the artist's fight with cancer, a journey marked by pain, hope, despair, and ultimately, triumph. The colors, textures, and compositions spoke volumes, weaving a narrative that struck a chord with every observer. It was as if each viewer could find a piece of themselves within the layers of paint, a reflection of their own struggles, fears, and victories. The initial reactions were of stunned silence, quickly followed by a chorus of admiration and deep emotional responses. Conversations sparked around the room, not just about the technical brilliance of the work, but about the profound messages it conveyed. The artist, standing quietly to the side, watched as her creation began its dialogue with the world, bridging personal and universal themes of human existence. Social media buzzed with images and discussions about the unveiling, catapulting the artist and her work into a global conversation. Art critics penned thoughtful analyses, lauding not only the aesthetic and conceptual aspects of the masterpiece, but also its poignant commentary on life, death, and legacy. The emotional resonance of the piece transcended cultural and geographical boundaries, touching hearts and sparking conversations about the role of art in facing life's greatest challenges. In this moment, the artist achieved what she had set out to do, to create something that would live beyond her, a work that could inspire, console, and provoke thought long after she was gone. The unveiling became a pivotal point, marking the transition of her story from a personal journey to a shared human experience. The unveiling of the artist's magnum opus marked the beginning of an unprecedented global journey. Word of her extraordinary creation spread like wildfire, transcending borders and languages, capturing the imaginations of millions around the globe. Museums, galleries, and art institutions clamored to display her work, recognizing not just the artistic genius behind the canvas, but the profound message it carried. The artwork became a beacon of hope and resilience, a source of deep inspiration for individuals navigating their own personal challenges. As the story of the artist's battle with cancer and her determination to leave behind a legacy through her art became known, it resonated with a diverse audience. People from different walks of life saw in her story a reflection of human perseverance, the universal struggle against insurmountable odds, and the transformative power of creativity. Social media platforms buzzed with discussions about the impact of her work, with many sharing their own stories of struggle and triumph, citing the artist's journey as a catalyst for their own reflections on life, mortality, and legacy. Critics and art lovers alike hailed the masterpiece as a pivotal moment in contemporary art, a work that not only challenged conventional aesthetics, but also pushed the boundaries of what art could communicate about the human experience. Prestigious awards and recognitions poured in, each accolade acknowledging not just the technical mastery of her work, but its ability to touch the soul and ignite a collective conversation about life's fragility and beauty. In universities and art schools, the artist's approach and philosophy became a subject of study, inspiring a new generation of artists to explore themes of vulnerability, resilience, and the role of art in societal dialogue. Through lectures, workshops, and exhibitions dedicated to her legacy, her influence permeated the fabric of the art community, sparking a movement that championed art as a tool for healing, expression, and connection. The global recognition of the artist's masterpiece was a testament to her vision and her unyielded spirit in the face of adversity. Her work achieved what she had always hoped for, to create a dialogue that transcended her own story, engaging a world audience in a profound conversation about the essence of being human. In the twilight of her journey, as her physical strength waned, the artist found comfort in a profound truth. Her voice would echo through the ages, her vision immortalized on canvas. This masterpiece, birthed from a crucible of pain and resilience, stood as a towering testament to her life's passion and the indomitable spirit that defied her diagnosis. Her art had sparked a global conversation, touching the hearts of countless individuals who saw in her story a mirror to their own struggles and aspirations. Her work's transcendent impact, celebrated across continents, ensured that her legacy would not be confined by the temporal boundaries of her life. It had ignited a beacon of hope and inspired a dialogue about the capacity of art to navigate the complexities of the human condition. Through her masterpiece, she achieved an everlasting presence in the world, a perpetual source of inspiration for future generations grappling with their own confrontations with mortality and searching for meaning. In her final days, surrounded by the familiar comfort of her studio, she was enveloped by a sense of peace, knowing she had fulfilled her deepest wish to leave behind a legacy that would endure. Her art, a vivid chronicle of her journey, would continue to inspire, provoke thought, and offer solace, a lasting memory of her courage and creativity. Her legacy was sealed not just in the accolades and recognition her work received, but in the lives it touched. A testament to the enduring power of art to weave together the shared threads of human experience.